Yes.
I made some changes after I watched Julia Serving to the game myself.
Yeah. Just from studying.
And I see their videos of me on my you understand, you're an athlete, right?
Yes. Yeah, well, I was. Yeah.
But you understand mechanics.
Yes.
So what I see in Caitlin Clark's jump shot, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a two-step jump shot, and the way she skips into it,
Mm-hmm.
I can really appreciate. I'm the first person that I've ever seen do that.
Watch his hands right there.
This isn't just some casual basketball fan breaking down highlights. This is a 56-year veteran of the game who grew up playing in West Philly, someone Kobe Bryant actually watched play, dissecting what separates Caitlin Clark's shooting mechanics from everyone else in professional basketball. And what he's about to reveal goes way deeper than most people realize. Because when you watch Caitlin Clark pull up from 30 feet like it's a layup, there's a specific sequence happening in about 0.8 seconds that only a handful of players in basketball history have ever mastered. We're talking about a two-step jump shot with a skip entry that looks so smooth it almost seems like she's breaking the laws of physics. But she's not. She's just operating on a level most shooters never reach.
Right? There's only a few people I've ever seen to do it and really get it right.
Right.
Durant tries it, but doesn't look smooth as when Kobe Bryant does it, or the way Peter Stojakovic used to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But Caitlin Clark does it so smoothly. I'm talking about where there's a little skip right before her feet plant.
Yeah.
And she brings the ball here, and it's here before her feet actually leave the ground. And it's a two-step motion with a gooseneck release. Kobe Bryant, there's only a few people in history that can really get that two-step jump shot with the your feet are off to the left a little bit. Sometimes your right leg lands in front of you. There's only a few people who've been able to do that and make it look organic. And Clark has it.
There it is.
The two-step motion with a gooseneck release. Now, he just name-dropped Kevin Durant and Kobe Bryant in the same breath as Caitlin Clark. And that's not hyperbole. That's film study talking. Because when you actually break down the mechanics frame by frame, there are only about 5 or 6 players in the modern era who can execute this specific footwork pattern and make it look organic. Durant tries it, but it doesn't flow the same way. The rhythm is slightly off. With Kobe, it was poetry. Every movement connected seamlessly. And with Caitlin Clark, she's doing it at 22 years old in her rookie WNBA season, with the same fluidity that took Kobe a decade to perfect. That skip right before her feet plant, where the ball is already at her set point before she even leaves the ground. That's not something you can just teach in a workout. That's thousands of repetitions creating muscle memory most players never develop.
She also has this thing she does when she flicks. She has several different releases. I don't know if people are paying attention. And her skill set is like no other. I've argued with people about Asia Wilson, and because everybody calls her the best in the league.
Right.
There's no way possible that she has anywhere near the skill set Clark has. And the way they defend Clark automatically makes her the best person ever.
Oh.
And here's where it gets really technical. He's talking about the right leg landing in front of the left, the feet being slanted, the multiple release points. These aren't minor details. These are the exact mechanical advantages that allow Clark to shoot over defenders who are taller, faster, and jumping higher than her. Look at the comparison he just made with Aja Wilson. Now, Aja Wilson is the 2024 WNBA MVP, a dominant post player, arguably the best overall player in the league right now. But skill set? That's a different conversation, because Wilson operates primarily in the paint, using size, positioning, and touch around the rim. Clark operates in space, creating offense from 35 feet out, manipulating defenses with handles, vision, and that shooting motion we're breaking down. You can't defend them the same way. Teams have to game plan entirely differently for Clark, because of these specific mechanics.
All right, so Caitlin, she's getting the ball. She's going to do a 1-2 step, okay? This is what that guy was talking about, okay? A little fake, 1-2, bang, bang, and then shoot it, okay? That's the 1-2 step. This not necessarily exactly what he was talking about, but it's a part of what he was talking about. I just kind of want to break it down because her actual 1-2 hop step is kind of a rare thing a little bit. So no matter if it's off the dribble or a standstill jump shot, that is what this is. That's when somebody pass you the ball, you don't do anything but pull it, okay? That is a standstill jump shot. Mechanics are still there, all right? This is the 1-2. She had the 1-2. She did the 1. She caught the ball on the 1. The 2 is coming, okay? Right here, the 2 is coming. Once that 2 come, boom. She pulling up in the same mechanics. Right at the shot pocket, coming up, flicking the wrist, knocking it down, okay?
Now we're getting into the technical breakdown, and this is where most people's eyes glaze over. But stay with me, because understanding this 1-2 step is the key to understanding why Caitlin Clark can pull up from anywhere on the court with defenders draped all over her. Watch that sequence again. Catch 1-2, hop. It's not a standard hop like Damian Lillard or Steph Curry off the dribble. It's not a simple gather and jump. There's an extra rhythm step in there that creates separation and gets her into her shooting pocket faster than defenders can react. That's why you see her getting clean looks even when she's supposedly locked down. The fake before the 1-2 is crucial too. It freezes defenders for a split second, just enough time for her to get into that footwork sequence. And because the ball is already rising to her set point during the hop, not after it, she's releasing a full 1/10 of a second faster than shooters who bring the ball up after they jump. In basketball, a 1/10 of a second is the difference between a clean look and a blocked shot.
Here go another one. 1-2. You saw that? She caught it. 1-2, then pull it. Okay? So this is a part of what he's talking about. We're going to get into exactly what he's talking about, though. And as you can see, remember he brought up that right leg lands in front of the other leg. That's this right here. That's what you're seeing. You see that right leg in front of this? And it's because she's slanted. That elbow is lined up with the rim, okay? And we're going to talk about the elbow, where the hand placement is. We're going to talk about all that. Here go another one. Little fake. 1-2. Popping. Okay, so right here, this is what he's talking about. Now, this is more so on the hop, but she kind of add the 1-2 into it. It's a smooth move that a lot of...
That right there, that crossover into the 1-2 hop. Most players do a standard hop, both feet leaving the ground simultaneously after a gather step. Clark is doing something different. She's got that stutter step, almost like a skip, where her right foot hits, then her left, then both feet plant and she's already in her release. It looks like a travel in real time. Defenders think it's a travel, but it's not. It's just an unconventional rhythm that throws off the timing of shot contests. By the time a defender realizes she's actually shooting, and not still gathering, the ball is already gone. And here's what makes it even more effective in the WNBA. The three-point line is shorter than the NBA line, but Clark is regularly pulling up from NBA range anyway. So she's taking shots from 25, 27, 30 feet, using this advanced footwork that most WNBA defenders have never had to guard before. They're used to defending shooters who set their feet and rise up. They're not used to defending someone who skips into a shot with this kind of rhythm variation. Compare that to the standard hop he just showed. That's what 95% of shooters do. One dribble, gather, hop, shoot. It's predictable. Defenders can time it. But when you throw in that 1-2 stutter before the hop, you're adding a variable that breaks the defender's timing. They jump too early, or they don't jump at all because they're still processing whether you're shooting or driving.
Players don't do. All right, so watch this. She's crossing over. Watch the legs. 1, 2, and I hop with it. And I hop with it, okay? This is what he's talking about. And it's real smooth. It's a small thing on the mechanics, but it's real smooth. Okay, this is a simple hop. Hop over, boom. She kind of did it again off the pass, but knockdown, boom, off the hop. Off the one hop. Now check this one. 1-2, come back. She did it again right there. It's like a 1-2 and then hop. It's a rare little move that she's doing, man. It's really smooth how she's doing it. Like, you almost think she's traveling the way she's doing it, but she's not. A little crossover. See, that's a hop. That's the hop, okay? That's a regular hop. Y'all saw the difference.
Now we're getting into the real biomechanics. Feet slanted, elbow aligned with the rim, right leg landing in front of the left. This isn't random. This is engineered efficiency. When your feet are turned slightly away from your shooting hand, it does two things. First, it opens up your hip, which allows for a quicker rotation into your shot pocket. Second, it naturally aligns your shooting shoulder, elbow, and hand in a straight line to the basket. That alignment is everything. If your feet are square and your elbow is out, you're fighting your own body mechanics to get the ball to the rim. You're using extra muscles, creating extra motion, wasting extra time. Clark's feet being slanted means she can catch the ball on the left side of her body and bring it straight up into her shot pocket without any wasted lateral movement. Watch Steph Curry's feet on catch and shoot threes. Same thing. Slanted, always slanted. Kevin Durant, same thing. Kobe Bryant, same thing. It's not a coincidence. It's physics. And that right leg landing in front, that's the result of the slant. When you turn your feet, your body naturally wants to step through with your front leg. For right-handed shooters, that's the right leg. It creates a stable base and allows for better balance on off-balance shots. When Clark is fading left to right, that front leg acts as a counterbalance, keeping her center of gravity controlled even when she's moving laterally. Here's what separates good shooters from great shooters. Good shooters need their legs under them. They need to be set, balanced, with time to go through their full motion. Great shooters can shoot off balance, off rhythm, with a hand in their face, and still maintain their core mechanics. Caitlin Clark's low release point is a perfect example of this. Most casual fans think you need to jump high to shoot over defenders. That's actually backwards. If you need to jump high to get your shot off, you're in trouble. Because in the fourth quarter, after playing 35 minutes, your legs are gone. You can't get that same elevation. Your shot starts falling short. Clark shoots from a relatively low jump, maybe 8 to 10 inches off the ground. Steph Curry, same thing. They're not trying to out-jump defenders. They're trying to maintain consistency. When your release point is low, and your mechanics are sound, you can replicate that same shot in the first quarter and the fourth quarter. Your legs aren't a variable anymore. The shot becomes purely about rhythm and touch. And let's talk about that shot pocket. The shot pocket is where you bring the ball before you raise it to your set point. For Clark, it's low and to the right side of her body. For Steph, it's similar. For Kevin Durant, it's a bit higher, but still off to the side. The key is getting the ball to that pocket as quickly as possible, after the catch or the dribble. The faster you can get there, the faster you can shoot. When Clark catches the ball on the left side, and her feet are already slanted right, the ball travels maybe 14 inches to her shot pocket. If her feet were square, that ball would have to travel 20+ inches across her body. That's 6 extra inches of movement, which translates to about 0.15 seconds of extra time. Doesn't sound like much, but in basketball that's the difference between an open three and a contested three. Now the elbow alignment. When your elbow is directly under the ball, pointing at the rim, you're creating a straight line from your shoulder through your elbow through your wrist to the basket. That's the most efficient path for force transfer. Any deviation from that line, any chicken wing elbow, or any elbow that's too far in, and you're compensating with your wrist or your guide hand, you're adding variables. Clark's elbow stays tight, not too tight where it's uncomfortable, but tight enough that the line is clean. And because her feet are slanted, and her shoulder is already rotated toward the basket, that elbow alignment happens naturally. She's not forcing it. Her body mechanics are doing the work for her. The guide hand is another detail most people miss. Clark's guide hand is high on the ball, almost to the side. It's not under the ball providing lift. It's just there for stability. The actual shooting motion comes entirely from her right hand. Her left hand comes off the ball, right at the release point. You can see it in slow motion. The ball leaves her right hand, and her left hand is already dropping away. That's textbook. If your guide hand stays on the ball too long, you're adding spin or torque that you don't want. If it comes off too early, you lose stability. Clark's timing is perfect, and that's not something you develop overnight. That's years of repetition, thousands of shots, constant refinement. Let's talk about the gooseneck release you mentioned earlier. That's when your wrist is fully cocked back at the set point, creating an angle that looks like a goose's neck. When you release, you're snapping that wrist forward and following through. The gooseneck creates more backspin on the ball, which means better touch on the rim. Shots with good backspin are more forgiving. They can hit the back of the rim and still drop. Shots with side spin or no spin hit the rim and bounce out. Clark's release has that gooseneck, and you can see the rotation on the ball. It's tight, consistent, backwards rotation every single time. That's not luck. That's mechanic. And it's one of the reasons her shooting percentage from deep is elite even when she's taking shots most coaches would consider bad shots. The multiple release points you mentioned are also critical. Clark doesn't have just one release. She can shoot from a high release when she has time. She can shoot from a quick release when she's contested. She can shoot off the dribble with a lower release point to get it off faster. That versatility makes her almost impossible to scout. Defenders can't just time one release and jump to it. They have to react to what she's doing in real time. And by then it's too late. Compare that to someone like Oja Wilson, who he mentioned earlier. Oja is a dominant player, the MVP, one of the best in the league, but her skill set is completely different. She's operating in the post, using footwork, positioning, touch around the rim. She's not creating offense from 30 feet out with handles and shooting mechanics. That's not a knock on Oja. It's just a different game. When you evaluate pure skill, pure shot creation ability, pure shooting mechanics, Caitlin Clark is operating at a level that's rare in any basketball league. The way defenses have to guard her, extending out to half court, sending double teams 35 feet from the basket, that automatically warps the entire floor. That's the impact of elite shooting mechanics, combined with deep range, and the confidence to use it. So here's the real question. Can these mechanics be taught, or are they something you either have or you don't? The answer is both. The footwork, the elbow alignment, the shot pocket, those can be taught. You can drill those, but the rhythm, the timing, the feel for when to use the 1-2 hop versus the standard hop, that's instinct, that's feel, that's thousands of hours of experimentation and repetition until it becomes second nature. Caitlin Clark didn't just wake up one day shooting like this. She's been working on this since she was a kid. And now in her rookie WNBA season, she's showing the result of all that work. She's not just a good shooter. She's a great shooter with mechanics that put her in the conversation with the best to ever do it. And if you understand what you're watching, if you can see the 1-2 hop, the slanted feet, the gooseneck release, the low jump, the elbow alignment, then you're watching something special. That's what separates Caitlin Clark. Not just the range, not just the confidence, the details. The things most people never notice but that make all the difference between good and great.